All right. So I am in a new location. I am downtown Houston at Valencia Group's Hotel Alessandra with the Houston Cityscape behind me, and joined by Robin Rossman, Managing Director at STR, coming to us from, where are you at? Are you in London?
I am in London, in Wimbledon.
Wimbledon. Perfect. So let's just jump right in. Last week, you were talking about Europe's continued recovery. Everyone was feeling pretty good. So how are things going right now?
Things are definitely up in the air a bit. I was reflecting on things yesterday, and I pulled up some of the presentations that we did right at the beginning of it was before it was even a pandemic. It was right at the beginning of March, and I'd found this incredible quote from a guy called James Stockdale, who was a officer in the U.S. military, prisoner of war, and the quote that he gave coming out of his ordeal in Vietnam was, "You must never confuse the faith that you will prevail in the end with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality." And back then, it felt like a pretty dark time. That the world for travel and hospitality had literally been turned upside down, the rug pulled under our feet, and everybody was trying to figure out exactly what was going on. And since then, it's been tough, but certainly in Europe, there was a renewed optimism through July, with many countries reopening, travel beginning again far faster than I think many of us thought it would, in terms of leisure travel. And so there was a sense that we would be able to salvage some of the summer. And I think in the last couple of weeks, week in particular, what we've been seeing in the US in terms of the rising cases, what we've been seeing in Europe in terms of flare-ups of the virus again, and renewed quarantines being placed on people and restrictions on movement has made it feel all very real again. And it's certainly made me reflect and think back to that statement of James Stockdale, because it really is important that we're as leaders, as people that run teams in our businesses, that we do have the faith that we will prevail, and society will recover, and our industry will recover. And I am fundamentally a believer in the strength of travel and hospitality in the long term. However, I think the brutality of what we're going to have to deal with in our businesses and as an industry for some time to come has become very real again. Because I do think we're very much, depending on where you are in the world, at a plateau in terms of level of recovery, which could reverse if we do have strong second waves coming through. So yeah, not rosy thoughts, but also important thoughts if businesses and teams want to survive and get through this.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Stockdale. That was an amazing gentleman. I'm a fan also of Ernest Shackleton. Maybe you've heard of him. South Pole exploration. Family motto was, "By endurance we conquer." And I've put that on my email for the past 3 or 4 months, because it is. We'll get through this. It's bad, but we will get through it, and it'll be interesting on the other side. So I hope a lot of people are there. Well, so last week, France was kind of ahead of everybody, and not in Paris. So the Parisians were probably happy about that. But is there anyone? I mean, do you think that theirs will continue maybe over the next month, or who might be next to follow in a strong rebound, or are we just looking at a slow decline from here until maybe the holidays into the year?
I mean, I think France will continue to be strong through the summer months. They obviously have a huge culture of and the importance of taking holidays, and they literally are different words to describe somebody that usually goes on holiday in July, which is called a Juliet or something like that, versus Augustine. So you define people by the month that they usually
Oh,
take off for holidays, and there's been a really strong push for the French to holiday. This year we holiday in France, I think is the slogan, and so. I don't, I think that's been very timely for the industry there, and we've seen, occupancies well over 50%, I think up to 65%, and with Paris being the exception, but certainly anywhere that is able to cater for leisure guests seems to have done well. And I have a personal friend who lives in the UK that actually spent a week there after the restrictions were removed, and he said it was, it was a different world. That certainly the restaurants were full and people were getting on with life. So, whether or not that results in a resurgence of the virus is, to be seen.
right.
But certainly, I think even if that does come up, we'll continue to see strong performance in August. The big question, I think, that very, very many people are asking is, we know that leisure was going to come back because people's personal safety threshold is, let's say, a lot lower when they're traveling for themselves versus when they're traveling for a company. And also,
Right.
companies have a high duty of responsibility. So I think we know that July, August, first bit of September should be fine. The big question is, will business demand come back? I mean, honestly, it'll be better than Q2 for sure. But how much better and how much behind prior year is the big question.
Right. Right. So, as we wrap up, any advice for hoteliers other than hang in there?
I mean, it's hang in there. I think there is a reality that until there is a cure or some way to mitigate the risk of flare-ups of the disease, that we're going to be in a tough environment. But the good news is for those that survive, and I really hope many, many, many survive, when we get through this, travel will absolutely bounce back. And this is true for any industry, but it's particularly true for ours. Those that survive will be even stronger coming out of this, because the market will return, and they'll be there capturing a greater share of it because they've come stronger through it. So I think it's hang in there, and you'll be rewarded.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining me, Robin. Appreciate it.
Awesome, Jason. And well done on your cast. They're awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers.